All right, well, hi, everybody, and a pleasant good morning to you coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Sunday, March the 8th. And, well, we're in the middle of the time change here at a few of the time zones here right now. Joining you, I guess, a little bit later here, technically, over on the East Coast and over on the West Coast here. It is just past midnight, but we'll lose that hour here. We're moving ahead. We're moving the clocks forward here on Sunday. So let's see if these players are going to be ready and awake here today when we get going with the action and college basketball tournament action. We'll preview 4 championship games here today with the college leagues there after a wild day of college basketball. Also, take a look at the extended NBA card here. Good NBA card going, and also got action on the ice today as well. Oh, coming up here in just a short time, we've got more action at the World Baseball Classic here. Just a couple of hours away here right now. We're going to have Japan taking on Australia today. The action continues. The World Baseball Classic. We saw the scores and finals here from Saturday. A little bit dicey here for Team USA and some of the others as well. We saw some walk-off action here on Saturday. And also, we had a great fight. Well, was it a great fight, or was it a great fight night at least? Were people really leaving? You don't really leave in the middle of a fight. You know, it's not that long, but did have the ceremonial BMF title change hands on Saturday night in the UFC when Charles Oliveira grinded his way to a win over Max Holloway. Holloway could never find his way or his rhythm against the strength of Oliveira. Practically spent the whole fight in control with massive time control. I mean, it was almost, the fight's only 25 minutes long. Let me correct myself there. Fight's only 25 minutes long, and most of it was spent by Oliveira just mashing around Holloway. Not much damage to the fighters at all, just a lot of suffocation for Oliveira as he took the BMF title from Max Holloway there on Saturday night here in Las Vegas. Also revealed during the telecast today, which also had a terrible technical glitch that cost the main event 2 minutes of the main event not appearing on the television there for, I believe, everybody except for those that may have stayed on the Spanish broadcast, but did get the information about the UFC fight card in Washington, D.C. on June 14th. They'll have apparently on the White House grounds or somewhere in proximity to the White House grounds anyway. They're going to probably build, I believe, a temporary stadium. The ballroom's not ready yet. So, but we did find out that the main event will be Ilya Topuria, the champion, taking on Justin Gaethje at the UFC Freedom 250 event there. Yeah, well, what can you say about the division, right? I mean, you got to have Topuria in there taking on Gaethje. Gaethje was at the event there. On Saturday night, taking his announcement there a little bit, and we'll see that bout take place on the grounds there in Washington, D.C., but also on that card, additional bouts here. It's a 6-fight card. Also, we'll have uh, Alex Pereira taking on Cyril Gahn in the co-main event at UFC 328 in Washington, D.C. Apparently, they were trying to work out John Jones possibly to come back. Is that true? They did say one fight was scrapped. The promoters, in fact, announced that as they were discussing it. I'm talking about Dana White, of course, but the other promoters too. They had a video of them at the weigh-ins yesterday, 2 days ago now, maybe getting some of that news. Now, was it that fight? Was it that John Jones was really going to come in and be in line to just come on in and take on a fight there with Pereira, or was it possibly a women's fight there that they were possibly scheduling to be the co-main event there? So not sure, but nonetheless, it will be Gahn and Pereira. Also on that card, Sean O'Malley and Ayman Zahabi, who's on a winning streak. There also, Diego Lopez will fight Steve Garcia. Bo Nickel will take on Kyle Dawkins, and Mauricio Rufy will fight Michael Chandler at UFC in Washington, D.C. on June the 14th there. And so we did finally find out that fight card. Hopefully they'll keep it all together. You just couldn't have Jones in there. I mean, what if the fight fell through or something like that? So just a big announcement there with the UFC on Saturday night. I want to thank everyone for coming in and joining me here on Night Moves. We're going to preview the action here in short order and talk about our games here on Sunday. But first, on Saturday, we had some wild results here, certainly in the NBA, NHL, college basketball as well. Conference tournament action continued. How did you do over at Tony'sPicks.com? Let's go to the website and see who did well over at Tony'sPicks.com. We'll highlight the top handicappers. My focus was on the UFC. I did go 2-1, did kind of limit my card with a big UFC card there on Saturday, but I'm going to keep it rolling here on Sunday with more action over at Tony's Picks. Let's see who was hot on Saturday over at our website. Check us out over at Tony'sPicks.com with our premium picks every day. These are our best picks over at Tony'sPicks.com. I want to shout out my partner here on Night Moves, Justin McKelvey. Stacks 8-0 yesterday, smashing the card, absolute destroying here. Stephen Duncan continues to mash. If you're not on board with Stephen, what are you doing? 6-1 there with his hockey and props there on Saturday. Also, Nick Lagaretto 6-2. Brian Bittler 3-1. Mills Young 4-2 there yesterday. Al Ninos, he did it again, folks. He won his only play on Saturday. Man, he's on a streak here. Did he win every play this week? Great job, Al. Jorge Gonzalez there, 2-1. Ron Hahn, 3-2. Kevin Thomas, 3-2. Chris Adkins, 2-1. Solo Malone, 3-2. VIP account, 3-2. Shane Mickle, 4-3. Ron Crawford, 8-7. Where am I on the list there? I could only come through with those victories there in the UFC. Can't figure out the college basketball right now, and not a great time here with the tournaments going on. But over the last 7 days, Stephen Duncan just absolutely mashing here, 70%. 14 and a quarter units there. There's Al Ninos. I got it right there with Al. 82% there right now, nearly 7 units of profit. Solo Malone up nearly 6 units profit last 7 days. Nick Lagarettos up nearly 5 units last 7 days. Mills Young up over 4.5 units last 7 days over at Tony's Picks. Kevin Thomas up over 3 units over at Tony's Picks. Brian Bittler up over 3 units. Shane Mickle up 2 2/3 units over at the website. Justin McKelvey showing a profit here. Tom Reghart as well in the VIP account with profit here over the last 7 days, last 30 days. Stephen Duncan right there up over almost 19 and a quarter units. Nick Lagarettos there up over 13 and a third units. Al Ninos up nearly 10 units. Mills Young up over 6.5 units, and Shane Mickle is up over a unit there. And hey, John Rahm has just won the Live Golf Tournament here this week. Rahm gets the victory there on the Live Tour. Here, just finishing up right now, is taking his congratulations here. So, Live Tour final here on Saturday as John Rahm is able to get the victory here just moments ago in Hong Kong, holding off Thomas Dietrich and Thomas Peters as well. But really a easy victory there, 3-stroke win there for John Rahm. PGA continues on Sunday. Should be a pretty good shootout, I think, here. They didn't quite get off the course on Saturday, but you do have Daniel Berger. He's trying to go wire to wire here with a 2-stroke lead over Akshay Bhatia. Bhatia 2 strokes back right now, but he has 2 holes left to play from the Saturday round. Also, Colin Morikawa within striking distance at 9 under, Sepp Straka 9 under, Cam Young 9 under. So going to have a good round here.
Critical notice.
And like I said, we do have coming up here in about, I think it's 2.5 hours. I don't know with the time change. I might have to get my middle of the night schedule. Am I early? Am I late here right now with night moves? But it is going to be Australia and Japan here. Look, Japan, it seems like they're taking things pretty seriously. Australia's had a nice team so far here at the World Baseball Classic, but I think in this one, Japan's favored by 7 runs. The total is 12.5 here. I still think Japan can do it. I might take it down to 6.5 runs and lay a little juice here, but Japan's offense has looked elite, already rolling with 21 runs in 2 games. Shohei Ohtani, Seiya Suzuki, they're both locked in. They're combined for multiple home runs each here. Suzuki's sending them out of the park. Could you imagine if those two were on a team together? Japan's lineup also with Murakami and Turakai Soto, just constant run scoring pressure from them right now. So Australia's pitching staff hasn't faced a tough lineup like this yet in their games, even if Australia can scratch a few runs. I think Japan has the offense to win this one probably by 7 or more here in this one. I like it over as well. I think Japan's offense alone could push this one into double digits, and then you only need about 3 runs maybe from Australia. For Australia here, they have Sugano going. He's homer prone, not a high strikeout pitcher here. So Australia does get some scoring opportunities off of a guy like Tomoyuki Sugano, who gets the start today for Japan. And we've seen some nice hitters on Australia so far. I mean, everyone likes Bazana, future major league star for sure. Curtis Mead as well has been swinging the bat well. So I think even if Australia does get 3 or 4 runs, Japan has the offense to get it over the total with them. Probably will require 3 runs from Australia, but you never know. Japan could take care of business here, but their lineup is just too powerful for Australia's pitching. I expect Japan to control the game, of course, and a good middle of the night action here at the World Baseball Classic. All right, make sure you click on the All Cappers tab. You can find the handicapper of your choice. Click on their handicapper profile page, and that's how you get signed up. Find me here at the bottom. What happened to Hot Ramon there this weekend? But like I said, did have the winners here on the card here with uh, uh, Robocop and Bruno Ferreira. I had that one to go under. That one ended rather quickly. Also, I had Drew Dober over Michael Johnson as an underdog winner there on Sunday, but I couldn't find the profit that I needed there with my premium picks. So I'll be firing away today. You better believe it on Sunday with our action. Let me say hello to the folks in the chat here as we get started with our show. Not a long show. I mean, like I said, we got the baseball, we've got the hockey, we've got the basketball, and like I said, just 4 games I'm going to look at, championship games here. Hello to Richie Rich there in the chat today. He was rolling with his Canadians there. And Timmy Two Shoes joins us here, members of the chat pros. Cal Dog as well, coming on in. Join the show. Shaq is here this morning. Hello. And that might be it from the chat pros here today. I'll give everyone a break if they wanted to make sure they slept in and make sure they're not going to be a rough day tomorrow with that loss of an hour here. I'm already bushed after that UFC fight card there last night. All right. Thanks to the crew in there. And we'll get rolling here in just a moment. Just want to see about some of the action there yesterday in college basketball, but also there was some other news there. Did want to mention the U.S. got their win over at the World Baseball Classic as well, despite the fact that the Great Britain did homer in the first batter of the game off a Treat Skubal. The U.S., they just don't look ready to play these games. I mean, yes, they eventually get it rolling, it seems like, but it took them several innings just to get started with the runs there. And I'm worried that they might be overlooking some of those teams when it comes. I mean, you got a guy like Skubal who comes in, he says, I'm going to throw 50 pitches and I'm going back to spring training. They're not playing a team concept here, the U.S. They're just relying on the fact that they have all the talent in the world and that they should be able to win the tournament. But, there's a lot to do with momentum, with just the overall feel of the World Baseball Classic. I think the team should be together and have a lot of team chemistry. I don't know if we're going to see that from the U.S. They might not win because of that type of philosophy. Also, how about UConn losing there to Marquette? Bobby Hurley, if they don't win, it must be some kind of problem. He throws another temper tantrum. What a wuss. Bobby Hurley. I mean, anybody can take this garbage guy down. I mean, just awful there. I mean, you lost the game. Marquette's playing better. Just get used to it, man. Come on. This guy, insufferable there. His family must be miserable. Hurley, jeez. Also, I was happy to see Khalil Mack going to go back to the Chargers on a 1-year deal here. So, all right, let's take a look at some of this action here from college basketball on Sunday. We saw NEC tournament with LIU and Wagner, as LIU got the win there yesterday over Wagner in the NEC tournament there. So they were able to get the win there. So they're playing NEC title game is on Tuesday, but because they're playing Mercyhurst isn't eligible to go to the NCAA tournament yet. So I said yesterday that the winner of the Ohio Valley was going to be the first one in. I stand corrected. It's actually LIU because Mercyhurst isn't eligible. So they're going to play their tournament championship on Tuesday, but LIU's in because Mercyhurst can't go to the NCAA yet. When you become a Division I team, they have this dumb rule where your program has to wait like 4 years until you can go to the NCAA tournament. It's really terrible rule. But Rod Strickland and LIU, 17-year NBA veteran. He was a good floor leader, and he led LIU to the first tournament bid officially, I think that's how they work it. Also, Tennessee State drubbed Morehead State there yesterday for the second team in the field, as Tennessee State is in the tournament for the first time since 1994, as they've won 6 in a row and 9 of their last 10. Texas A&M over LSU in the game of the day, 3 overtimes. It was 94-91, and Texas A&M's got 20 wins again this year, 21 wins actually right now. Duquesne beat Richmond 79-77. Only notable because the score in this game was 40-10 at one point. It is the fourth biggest comeback in the last 40 years in college basketball. Duquesne trailed 40-10, won by 2 points to snap a 4-game losing streak. Marquette over UConn. As I mentioned, the Huskies led late by 7 in the first half, so St. John's at number 1 seed in the Big East. Good. I hope Connecticut loses somewhere in there. And other upsets included North Dakota as they moved into the Summit Championship game with a win over St. Thomas. Loyola Chicago beat G-Dub as a 9.5-point favorite. Wisconsin upset Purdue. Purdue's looking a little funky there at the end. Stanford upset NC State. Oklahoma upset Texas in overtime. George Mason upset St. Louis. South Carolina upset Ole Miss, and Pitt upset Syracuse. These were all 6, 7, 8-point underdogs winning here. It's going to be a crazy tournament when we find out next Sunday on Selection Sunday. Also, Louisville beat Miami 92-89. Late night Cal Davis over Cal Irvine. Cal Irvine over Cal Davis in overtime, 79-69. That's a bad beat. If you took the Aggies overtime game, they were getting 7.5. Cal Davis wins and advances there. And over here in the West Coast Conference Tournament with San Francisco with the win over Portland 82-65, as it was scored 29-29 at halftime. USF advances to take on Oregon State here. Also, SoCon, Western Carolina over Mercer. Mercer led by 17 midway through the first half, and Western Carolina ended up winning the game 77-73. MAAC Siena over St. Mary's 63-58. Another big time win there for the Saints as they held on after leading 35-21. Siena will play Fairfield on Sunday night. Arkansas over Missouri in overtime, 88-84 in the SEC. They were missing their superstar scorer, Cuff. Did not play in that game, but look out for Arkansas with a superstar scorer like that in the postseason. Also, Vanderbilt win over Tennessee, 86-82, as Vandy never trailed in that one. And in the Sun Belt, it was Georgia Southern, 96-72, as Georgia Southern, we've talked about the ladder there, and you had to win and go up the ladder all the way. They did it here so far. One more step to go, but should be noted that they've won for the 4th day in a row, scoring 88, 80, 94, and 96 points. And Georgia Southern has come from the back, the number 10 seed, all the way into the semifinals to take on Marshall on Sunday night. All right. Man, a lot of great sports, and could continue to talk about them, but we did have some winners here on Night Moves here last night in the NBA. We most certainly did, breaking off the out of the slump there, at least on the show. No, the plays have been a lot better on the show, actually. But I think we might have swept the board here. No, I think we went 5-1. We had Orlando and Minnesota game to go under. It did there yesterday. It was Orlando stunned Minnesota there with a win on the road. Also, it was Atlanta over Philadelphia. We had the Hawks there to roll in their game. They won by 9. We also had here on Night Moves, we took Memphis over the Clippers. Clippers won. Memphis covered there yesterday. And also we had Golden State plus those points against Oklahoma City. They were getting 12. there yesterday. I think we were getting 14. We were on the show, and they lost by 7, 104 to 97, as the Thunder got the win. NHL winners included the Boston Bruins here yesterday. We had them on Night Moves there uh, last night. We had some other winners here in the NHL, including the Tampa Bay Lightning on the puck line there as they rolled over Toronto, as Toronto just keeps slip sliding away here a little bit, but the winners didn't really come in NHL. So, okay, let's get going here with our previews. Thank you to the chat pros. We're ready to go here today with the action in the NBA. And it's a big card. I think we're going to preview all the games except for Washington and New Orleans. Other than that, feels like everybody else is in contention here. So let's get rolling right now with our previews. I see we got LALV here as well. He's ready to go also. And Mr. Weskers is joining us here as well. He says Clippers were goofing around there last night. Okay. Let's get started here right now with our previews. We're going to go to our first game up. Whoops, that's yesterday's card. Here we go. Where do I have it? Let me make sure I get the right. Okay, I'm ready to go here. I know I have these games in here somewhere. Here we go. There we go. There we go. Let's get rid of that game. Okay, Celtics and Cavaliers here. NBA action gets us rolling here on a Sunday with this one. We got a national TV doubleheader to start us off with the Cavaliers taking on the Celtics. Cavs at home here, getting 1.5 points right now from the Celtics. Saw the return of Jason Tatum. All systems go with him. Now, some talk that Tatum could be in a situation where he could play and rest a little bit, But again, I would argue that if you're doing that, then why are you bringing him back at all? He should be good to go here. Actually, they haven't talked about resting him. I was just kind of hinting at it because of the way that everyone's kind of talked about his limitation in minutes. But yeah, he was pretty strong in that first game for sure. One thing though is Nikola Vucevic of the Celtics, he definitely injured his finger. It looks like he's going to miss a little bit of time here for sure. I want to say it's going to be an extended period for just a finger injury, but there is some concern. Spider Mitchell is probable here for Cleveland. Tyson is questionable. Proctor, he is out. Jared Allen is out as well. And this one, Dean Wade probable. James Harden probable here in this one. The Cavaliers come in off of a couple of wins here. Wins over Detroit and Brooklyn, although they did not cover a big number against Brooklyn. Still, they did come back and cover the spread against Detroit. Boston, a terrific cover here on the road, 21-11 ATS on the road this season. We know Cleveland, they've not been a good cover this season. That's just fact. 27-36 ATS, 13-19 against the spread at home. So Boston, solid cover team. Cleveland not, even though in the standings, I mean, you look at currently here with these two, and Boston in second place, 3.5 games behind the Pistons. The Cavaliers are 6.5 back in fourth place. The teams were a little bit closer, but it seems like we're getting a little separation here a little bit in the top of the Eastern Conference here. Anyway, right now. So let's hear from you in the chat as we preview our first game here on the night with Cleveland and Boston. What I do is preview the games, make a pick, but I invite the chat to make a pick as well. And any picks I show on the screen, give your picks out here as part of the coverage with our Night Move show. Okay, let's see what's up here with Boston. They did beat Dallas there in that last game, 120-100 in the return of Jason Tatum. They've been in a pretty good groove here right now. Yeah, they did lose to Charlotte, a little bit of a stunner before that, but mostly it felt like it was getting like Boston was on a winning streak, and Charlotte was certainly hot. An easy team to overlook right now with the Charlotte Hornets because they're playing so well. Boston's gone 8-2 against the spread in their last 10 games. They've won 13 of 16 overall coming in. Boston's 7-2 actually in their last 9 games against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cleveland's won 15 of 19 coming in and covered 6 straight at home, despite the fact that I labeled them as a team that does not cover very well. In fact, at one point they were 7-19 against the spread at home and now are 13-19. So yeah, you got to give them a little credit. Maybe you could just wipe away some of those early non-spread covers because they are covering so well right now. I think they got a big chance. I mean, obviously it's a pick'em game. These two teams met in November. Boston won at Cleveland here, 117-115 as a 7.5 point dog in that one. It did go under, but the total on that day was 234.5 here. Down all the way down to 225 here. 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone under when playing in Cleveland. Also, 4 of the last 5 meetings have gone under when these two teams have met. And Boston has gone under here right now in 7 of their last 8 games coming in. So, look, Boston's been a hardcore under team all season. They're 11-21 to the under on the road. Cleveland's 12-20 to the under at home. Is this going to be treated like a playoff? I'm going to take the under here with Boston and Cleveland. I think these two teams have proven to, keep it low, if you will, but I'll take it here on the under with Boston and Cleveland at 225. Maybe down to 224.5. In fact, I'm showing DraftKings down to 223.5 right now. So I think overnight, if you respect the betting moves overnight, it's definitely heading under. Let's see what the chat pros have to say here in some of the games and other comments from you. Andre is in the chat. TMC. Hey, nice to have TMC here. He says the Brooklyn Nets, they did it, right? Yeah, even I got off the tankathon to go with Brooklyn last night. Here's Andre liking the Cavaliers there, plus the 1.5. And let's see here. LALB likes the Celtics in this one. And Mr. Westers does not think that Spider Mitchell will be playing in this one. I think he is going to play in the game. It is a groin injury, so I don't talk about anybody who had that groin injury. Maybe mine weren't as groiny as a professional, but you got that burn. You get that burn right in there where your leg meets your thigh. I wouldn't play. All right, Tim M, hello. And Timmy Choo says, aren't the Cavaliers favored by 1.5? Right now I'm showing DraftKings is at Boston 1.5 at even. I'm showing circa Cleveland -1. I think I can fairly update that line here. I'll call it a pick'em. I think that's fair. Maybe it also shows the way I'm leaning with the game too. But I'll call it a pick'em here. It does feel like the move is on the Cavs here a little bit, but I'm going to have to take the under as my play at 224.5. See what else we have here with the group. We have some nice names in here tonight also with the chat pros. Thank you. Tim M liking what he's seen from Team US, or at least he's rooting for Team USA. I don't know if we've liked what we've seen from Team USA, right? I think like I said, I have my concerns, but all as long as you're winning, I guess that's all that matters. LALB going with the under as well. Cavs money line for Mr. Weskers. And Timmy says Harden may be dishing out the assists. Mr. Weskers was impressed with those covers at home. Want to say hello to V Contact. Nice to have V Contact in there. Look at V Contact there. He's got, I don't know what that is, but I like that avatar. Looks like an animated animation of some kind. All right, and let's see, Tyson over in his points prop. And like I said, I think Tyson here, definitely have some concern with Tyson here, questionable with a neck injury. So hopefully he will be in there. All right, I'll take the under there. Let's move on to the next nationally televised game here on the doubleheader. And it's going to be the Knicks taking on the Los Angeles Lakers here. Afternoon start in LA at the Crypto Arena. Both teams coming in here pretty much on exactly the same wavelength, if you will. Lakers coming in off of a win. They bounced back from a loss to Denver. Yeah, they beat up on Indiana. They covered the spread to keep it going here. Lakers, we can find ways, we can make up things as to why we don't like the Lakers. They really are still continuing to produce here. Maybe we're just so used to the Lakers, and maybe they were paying a Lakers tax sometimes, but hey, they're 4-1 straight up and against the spread in their last 5 games right now. And so are the Knicks. Actually, no, the Knicks are 4-1 straight up and 5-0 against the spread right now in their last 5 games. They're coming in off of a win over Denver, though. Remember, the Lakers just lost to Denver 2 games ago. Man, the Knicks smashed the Denver Nuggets there the other night, 142-103, making Denver contemplate their existence. The Knicks here are 36-29 against the spread, 29-23 against the spread as a favorite. However, they are just 14-18 against the spread on the road. Lakers, meanwhile, just 8-16 against the spread as an underdog, just 16-15 against the spread at home. We talked about how good they've been against the spread at home, but it's only been mostly of late. 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams have gone under. Lakers have gone under in 4 of their last 5 at home. They've been mostly an over team this season. In fact, they're 19-12 to the over at home, 14-10 to the over as a dog. The Knicks are 15-17 to the under on the road. They've gone under in 6 of their last 8 games. The Knicks have also won 6 of their last 7 games on the road. So let's see how you have this one here with the Knicks. On the road, taking on the Celtics. The Knicks are playing extremely well right now. This is the 2nd straight road game here. They've been in a little bit of an awkward travel situation for several games now. Yes, they are coming in from Denver after winning by 39, but we're at home against OKC. Before that, they lost that game. Before that, they were at Toronto. They won and covered there at Toronto, but before that, they were actually at home. Won and covered against the Spurs, but before that, they were on the road. So they've kind of been going home and away here for several games, and now they're heading out west here for a little bit of a road trip here and to take on the Lakers in this Sunday afternoon feature. Lakers, meanwhile, had some other wins against, some subpar competition, but they did cover the spread against New Orleans, Sacramento, and Golden State, to name a few here on this little bit of a run right now. So, look, the Knicks just continue to seemingly take on all comers there, unless you name the Oklahoma City Thunder, and they still covered that game. But give the Lakers credit, too. They've only missed out covering in that Denver game by 2 points, and they've been top notch as well, covering the spread. Let's go to the chat and see what they have here right now, and see what you have. Okay, so start it off here, and Timmy Two Shoes right there. He's ready to let's go drilling here. Mr. Wesker says he doesn't a little uncomfortable laying points with these Knicks. They've definitely been getting the job done here. It's an extendo for Andre there. And Mr. Weskers, he says, is there a Lakers tax? He thinks there might be just a New York tax here. Maybe thinking that the Knicks are getting laying a few too many points, huh? Timmy Chushu says the Knicks, and they'll cover it by even more here. Andre's on the under. LALV's on the under as well. You got to think this feels like an under to me for the most part. These two teams met back on February 1st. It was 112 to 110. The Knicks got the win at home and the cover at home. They were laying 6. Bronny maybe to take on those guys. Also, let's see here. LALV loves putting the Lakers in parlays. Shaq says LA is terrible versus good teams as they take it out on the bad teams. Hachimura, Timmy Chush, is that Hachimura under 2.5? Is that right? Mr. Wesker says, what about the Yankees tax? All right. Hey, for me, I'm on the Lakers here, actually. I'm going to take the Lakers. I'll sprinkle the money line. I'm going to take them plus 3 points here against the New York Knicks. Give me the Lakers here in this one. All right, how about the Pistons? They're going on the road here to take on the Heat. In this one's at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, I think. At the Heat here, all of a sudden, right, when the pressure was on here for the Miami Heat, they've totally kicked it in gear here right now and are on a 4-game winning streak. Detroit, meanwhile, is slipping here right now, and you know we're not going to question that Detroit is not, is going to fail or falter from that number 1 spot, but Boston tears on their tails all of a sudden, and the Pistons here are losing games left and right. 3 straight losses to Cleveland, San Antonio, even against Brooklyn there yesterday, 107 to 105. Not great for the Heat. 4 consecutive wins and covers over Houston, Brooklyn twice, and Charlotte. Give them credit for that win at Charlotte. That was a lively atmosphere the other night, and they were able to get the win on the road. So Miami here currently in 7th place in the Eastern Conference. They're going to make the postseason here. Just a matter of where their position is for Detroit. Trying to hold off those Celtics, but the Miami Heat won the last meeting between the two teams at Detroit, 118 to 112 back on January 1st. Miami was a 4.5-point dog in that one and got the win on the road. They also met back in November at Miami here, and Detroit won it 138 to 135 as a 3.5-point dog. That was a regulation final. Miami here, 18-3 against the spread at home. The Pistons are 17-13 against the spread on the road. It's a real close game here. The move has been slightly here to Miami in this one, and the total here now says 229 on screen. I was typing these in during the UFC, but I got to move this one up to 231, and then I got to take the over because, well, that's what I was going to take, but it does feel like all of a sudden, whoops, it's moving higher, and I'm going to have to lay an extra point or two here with Miami and Detroit. I'm going over here in this one. Mostly it's Miami that's kind of the over-tempo team. They are 16-15 to the over at home, 33 and 31 to the over overall, but it's Detroit that is 11-18. I should have said the other way around. Detroit 11-18 to the under on the road. That's usually where they're also 25-36 to the under overall. But Detroit, a little bit of slump here. Like I said, 3 straight losses right now, and Miami's on a bit of a roll. Let's hear from you from the chat pros and see how you're going to play this one with Detroit and Miami. Detroit, not only the 3 straight losses, but just 1-6 against the spread in their last 7 games here over the last couple of weeks. So it hasn't been great. Still, Detroit does have a distinct advantage over Miami, 13-4 ATS in the last 17 meetings between the two teams. Detroit still has won 11 of their last 16 games overall. Miami's won and covered 4 straight, as I said, and they've also gone over in 4 of the last 5 meetings with the Detroit Pistons, and Miami's gone over in 5 of their last 7. The Pistons have had a couple of unders here lately. 4 straight unders right now. So I'm going to take the over here in this one. Look, the move is on the over. I think this one's ended up going over here with the Pistons and the Heat. Let's see what the chat pros have to say. And Mr. Westford says the Heat is steaming here right now. And thank you to XI Moonman there, or is it 11 Moonman, or is it She Moonman? Nice to have XI Moonman in there. And look, don't bury the lead here, Ramon. Definitely take a look at this injury situation with Cade Cunningham. You got to be worried here right now with that quad injury, especially after missing the last game there for Cade. So that's got to be a big factor here right now. Asher Thompson, he's out. Normie Powell is out for Miami. Wiggins is questionable. Nikola Jovic is out of this game as well. Fontecchio, he is also out of this one, but I'm taking the over here. LAOB not happy with those Pistons. And Timmy Chushu says Cade is questionable. And Andre says the line is fishy. The Pistons only favored by a point. It does feel like that Cunningham's injury will likely keep him out of this game, but it's not ruled out just yet. Mr. Westwood says Miami's hot and the Pistons are struggling to score on the back-to-back. Timmy likes the under, though, here. All right, and Timmy says when the Wizards beat the Pistons at home their last time they played, then they beat up the team in the next day. I think that's what it says. All right. Mr. Westwood says if it is out, then the Heat will become the favorite, I think is what he's saying there. And Shaq said, Cade to bounce back and have an MVP performance here. And Mr. Westwood says, you do like to have Powell out. And, thank you, Moon Man. I like and his Moon Man. And I do like that lion avatar there with the feels like the Rasta vibes going on there a little bit. All right, let's keep it moving here right now with our NBA card. And I'm hopefully going to bring some winners. Hopefully you guys bring me some winners in the chat. Going to keep it going here with the Mavericks on the road taking on the Toronto Raptors. There's got to be some concern here with Toronto right now. They are up to, I believe, a 10-point favorite here right now in this one. There are some 9.5s, plenty of feels like either 9.5 or 10, no matter where you go. Look, fortunately for Toronto, they are playing the slumping Dallas Mavericks here. Now, for Dallas, you do have Cooper Flagg still questionable. And look, they're not going anywhere. So he is a player that you will be taking your cautionary procedures here with. Marvin Bagley is questionable here. Dwight Powell probable. Gafford is probable for Toronto. B.I., he's questionable. And Murray Boyles is out of this game. Toronto's lost 2 straight right now with back-to-back losses here too. Minnesota and New York failed to cover in 3 straight overall. Dallas is on a long losing streak. They've covered a few games here and there. They're 22-21 as an underdog this season, but just 12-18 against the spread on the road. But Toronto, a dismal 13-19 against the spread at home and 15-20 against the spread overall. These two teams met back last year for their first meeting before the back in late October, I think it was, 139-129. Dallas got the win at home in that one turnaround. Now Dallas has won 4 straight meetings against the Toronto Raptors. But is that going to be a factor here when they're in the tankathon? Toronto here is just 1-4 straight up and against the spread in their last 4 games. They've actually lost 4 of their last 5. Dallas has won 8 of the last 10 overall against Toronto, but they've dropped 6 straight here right now. They're also just 2-4 against the spread in those 6 games. 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone over, but I'm not sure it's going to go over with these two teams, with the way the teams are set up right now. Toronto's gone under in 7 of their last 9 games overall. They're 12-23 to the under as a favorite, 13-19 to the under at home, and Dallas has gone under in 5 straight. So maybe here in the tankathon with Toronto here, are they ready to get back going here, and can they cover this big of a line, even though they've had, certainly some struggles here, but they got to keep winning right now. They're looking decent in the playoffs right now in the Eastern Conference, sitting in 5th place, but does feel like there's been a few issues here. Let me go ahead and take the Raptors here. I'll go to the tankathon and take Toronto and lay these big points. I think they'll win by double digits here. I think Dallas is going to be stuck here a little bit. I think Dallas probably end up in the low 100s actually in this game. Let's go to the chat pros. And here we go with Andre says the Raptors will win. And Mr. Weskers isn't going to lay 9.5. LAOB looking for that team total here on Toronto. Yeah, you got to figure in that, right? It's going to be what? Maybe a 117. All right. Hey, I want to say hello and thank you to Lennon Marley joining us there. Nice to have Lennon in the chat. New subscriber here to the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, the 53,000 subscriber juggernaut. Thank you to Lennon. Got some great sports betting program here on our channel, headed up by our captain, Tony T. Bring you videos every night previewing action in the NBA and college basketball. And we've got some other great shows here during the week. We've got a primetime lead-in show here, and we've got our show here, and we have a morning show as well. So, all right. Moonman says no BI. He is going to take the under if BI is out. LALB, he likes the under here as well. I can't disagree with these. I'm just going to stay in the tankathon for this game, but maybe I might have a play on that under, though. All right. Lennon says he has the Raptors money line and Ingram 20-plus points. But like I said, I do have concerns with the Ingram injury status here in this game. Listed as an illness here, so not quite sure. Want to say hello to Darnell Green in the chat. Nice to have Darnell here. Maybe everyone's waiting on the time change. We got so many nice new names in here right now. LAOB may go over on that team total. Well, that wasn't the official line. It was just me kind of estimating it. And TMC says, welcome to the family. I think he's talking there to our new subscriber. Thanks, guys. Wow, it's great to have you in here. It's great to have such a big crowd here right now. We're really generating a lot of momentum with this show. Have over 6 of you in here right now. I'm really proud of that. Let's keep it moving here, though, right now and go to our next one. We did skip, with all apologies, if I haven't seen DeAndre here with me in a while, but did Wizards and Pelicans, we are skipping that one tonight there. I think those two are a little bit toast here right now. Some other teams got a chance. Don't forget about the play-in tournament, but right now it's kind of been slip sliding away for a couple teams. Let's go to the Magic and the Bucks. So here right now, the Magic on the road, favored here. The Bucks trying hard. I mean, I've tried to kick them out here right now, but They won a game here. I felt like I said, and I think I skipped that, last game of theirs. I said this is really a last-ditch effort here for the Milwaukee Bucks to get into the postseason. They're out of the 8 spot here by 6.5 games currently, and they trail the Hornets for the 10 spot by 4 games. So that's what I thought was kind of poignant here for the Milwaukee Bucks. So, yes, Orlando is favored. The Bucks are still trying here a little bit. Orlando's got a lot of momentum. They've won 3 in a row right now with wins over Washington, Dallas, and Minnesota. They covered 2 of those games. They didn't cover at home against Dallas, but still, Orlando has not been a great cover, just 13-17 against the spread on the road. 17-24 against the spread as a favorite. Milwaukee 20-18 against the spread as an underdog. And like I said, maybe they are just barely hanging on here right now after that win over Utah. It's just that they were playing so terrible that I kind of gave up on them for even making it to the play-in tournament. So maybe it's back in play a little bit. There's still, like I said, 5.5 games out of that spot. I kind of was, trying to draw the line there. We have so many games, and we got baseball coming up and everything, so we got to get these previews in. But let's see what you guys have before I make my call in this one with Orlando and Milwaukee. All right, and Lennon says, well, no, Lennon, look, if he's in there, I'm sure he'll get a full run as well. And of course, if he doesn't play, it's no skin off the back there. Want to thank TMC also here for his participation. Lennon says Pelicans on the money line there. All right, and Mr. Westwood says the Bucks do need these games. Magic here for Moon Man. And Mr. Westwood doesn't see the Hornets losing in their game here today against Phoenix. We'll get to that one, certainly. Lennon says he's going to take an alternate spread in that one. LAOB is on the Bucks. Lennon's on the Bucks as well. Teasing it looks like there. Andre no doesn't want any part of it. And Jimmy Choo Shoes does like the under here. He says 219.5 now. Wow. Yeah, it is going down here. I'm showing as low as 220 at some books, 219.5 juice to the over. I definitely got to get rid of the 221. A great call there, Timmy. Let me update that. I'll take off a little, at least a point or so here in this one, but I do see what you see with the 2, and I think that's the right direction. Actually, this might be my pick here. Actually, now that you mention it, because that's the way I think I see that one there as well, as moving lower. So, and Mr. Wesker's not really a fan of the Bucks here, and no, it's going to be tough for them to even make it here. It feels like right now. Lennon on the alt spread. Andre says one of these other games can be better than this one. Hey, we already kicked out one game. Like I said, we preview every game that's probably going to the playoffs. That's the way I do it. Hey, Kerbin's here. All right, Kerbin. He's got the over. Yeah, Lennon, you do it. Absolutely. I flashed not only are you in the chat with the picks, but also you get in the on the screen there. Go ahead and type it in. Yeah. All right. For me, I'll take the under here in this one with Milwaukee here and Orlando. Give me the under tonight with these two. I think mostly, you look at overall with these two clubs coming in, you got a Milwaukee team here currently 1-4 straight up and against the spread in their last 5 games. Orlando has won 5 of their last 7, covered 6 of their last 9. They've also covered 5 of the last 7 meetings against the Milwaukee Bucks. Orlando's gone under in 4 of their last 6. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone over, but I'm going under in this one. The teams met back on February 11th. Milwaukee won it 116 to 108. That was an over. The Bucks were 11.5 point underdogs in that one. They also met a couple days earlier in Orlando. They played 2 games in 3 nights. Orlando won that one, however, 118 to 99. I'll take the under here in this one. And Darnell says Anthony Black got hurt in that last game, so he does like the under as well here in this one. And I mentioned that 219. I am seeing it go down here right this second. So great call there. Talking about it, it has moved down in several books right now within the last 5 minutes, actually, to the under. So Black is questionable, Isaac is questionable, Richardson is questionable for the Magic, and Kevin Porter Jr. questionable here for the Bucks. I'll take the under. Next up, we've got the Rockets on the road taking on the Spurs in a Texas showdown here. This is the Peacock game of the night here, with the Spurs favored in this one by 4.5 total here. 223. In fact, I got to at least go to 5 and 221.5 here. That's the direction these are going. So I was typed these in when I was watching UFC, and that was about 4 or 5 hours ago. So I pop these up on the screen. I guess you're seeing the moves here. For the Spurs here, they come in on a 3-game winning streak right now, looking pretty sharp here. Wins over Philadelphia, Detroit, and the Clippers. They didn't cover against the Clippers in that last one in a 118 to 112 win at home. They were favored by 7, won by 6. Houston, meanwhile, comes in off of a home win over Portland, 106 to 99. Before that, they were having a little bit of struggles, losses to Miami and Golden State. They beat Washington, but did not cover. They had failed 3 in a row before beating Portland. For Houston, this is only the 7th time Houston has been an underdog this season. Houston's 5-1 as an underdog this season in those 6 games. San Antonio, we know they're a solid cover. 35-27 against the spread, 16-12 against the spread at home, but just 23-21 against the spread as a favorite. So there might be a little something to that with Houston here. These two teams met twice back in January and split a pair of games at Houston within a week span. Houston won 111 to 106 as a 4.5 point favorite. Then a week later, San Antonio won as a road favorite at Houston, 111 to 99. Wemby did miss that first one, but San Antonio here did win at home back in November, 121 to 110 in an over in that one. Houston is 27-35 to the over this season. San Antonio 26-38 to the over, including 12-17 to the under. Let me get it straight here. 26-38 to the under. So both teams are somewhat solid under here. San Antonio 12-17 to the under at home, and 19-27 to the under as a favorite here. So we'll see what you got here in this one with Houston and San Antonio. The Rockets come in off of a win over Portland, 106 to 99. Before that, they lost to Golden State. Mentioned the failure to cover in those 3 games. Let's hear from the chat pros in this one right now, and I'll take your picks. San Antonio comes in having won 14 of their last 15, covering 11 of those games. Houston comes in having won 5 of 7. They've won 7 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams, going 4-2 ATS in the last 6 between the clubs. Houston's gone over in 5 of their last 7 overall, but San Antonio's gone under in 5 of their last 7. And maybe more importantly, the series has gone under in 8 of the last 10 meetings, including the last 2 here. The 2 games at Houston, although the one in San Antonio did go over. Let's hear from the chat pros in this one with Houston and San Antonio. Action here on Sunday on Peacock. All right, here we go with thank you too. Okay, let me get that going here. Thank you to TMC in there for that late play. Thank you. Also, Lennon Marley's got the big play here. It does include the Spurs, so let's show it on the screen right now from Lennon. Got a big-time parlay here in that one, and he's bending some of these lines a little bit in there. Big-time flip-flopping in the lines in a lot of these games, so great job for Lennon. Let's bring it home. Their 20-1 play there for Lennon. Let's do it. Moonman may go under here. Spurs for LALV. Andrew K says the Knicks have won a lot of their games versus the West, but you know what? When it comes to the East, maybe that's where the more difficult games lie. Wemby, let's see here. Maybe Timmy might be going with a big Wemby day in the three-point department. Andre here on the Rockets, and he was just kidding, but maybe he'll play over on this one too. Andrew says, the Knicks, we've talked about that top-rated defense here this over the last few weeks. Yeah, for sure. Wow. Okay, Andre going to take the points. Moonman says the Rockets might be kind of going through the motions here right now, given their current status, right? I mean, if you look at the standings, it does feel like I don't know if they're in nowhere land necessarily. I mean, they're tied with the Timberwolves, 4th, 3rd place here. You don't want to fall out of 3rd or 4th place for sure. LAOB says, what about that Spurs team total? What's it going to be here? And, well, you look at it there, I guess it's going to be right around, maybe 113 or so? Does that sound right? All right, Wembanyama, what do we got there? Wembanyama plays with he plays emotional. All right, Andrew K here on the Spurs or so. Let me peek at the injury report here. Pretty clean, right? Harrison Barnes is out for the Spurs, and Mason Plumlee's still out. Darnell says Spurs money line and under. Wemby will be the defensive player of the year, he says. Everyone's here because of the time change, I think. It makes me more tired. I'm going to be tired. I'm going to be cranky. All right. Could there be some fights here? And Lennon, a little bit question there on the a little bit question there for the Rockets. Yep. And we did look at it, Lennon. We showed it on the screen there. Hey, I like the way you bend those lines there a little bit, huh? Going flip-flopping them there on a big teaser there, kind of. Yep. All right, and let's see who else. And he likes the Cavs. Lennon likes the Cavs to come out of the East. All right. Andrew didn't even know about the time change. He's going to change the time right now on his oven, on his microwave. All right. Yeah, that's it for that one. And Lennon says, what's your team? And my team's the Padres. Okay, let's keep it going here, though, on our show. And next up. All right, next up, we got the Hornets taking on. Oh, I got a typo here. There we go. Hornets taking on the Suns. I'm hearing this one. Hey, this seems like a pretty good game for sure. I got the line backwards. That's what we have. Or do we, right? Look, I think the Suns continue to get disrespected. Now, I know that maybe they weren't what they were doing there in the beginning of this season, but and the Hornets are on fire here, no doubt. But I still want to believe in the Suns here a little bit. Did I? Oh, I'm sorry, you guys. Did I not make my pick in the Rockets and the Spurs? They're gonna kill me here. I'm on the under, by the way, in the Rockets and the Spurs. All right, let me make it clear there. Sorry about that. You have one job, Ramon. You have one job. Okay. Hornets and Suns here. This one, I thought it was a time change on one of these, but it is, I believe, in 9:10 Eastern, 6:10 Pacific. We'll see what here. I think we're in the right order. But so the Hornets on the road, and look, yes, the Hornets playing, you know, terrific right now and much better than their overall record indicates because of their late season surge. Yeah, I think that is fair. But I kind of think that the Suns continue to get a little bit disrespected. Yeah, they've got Dylan Brooks still out with the hand. I don't know if that was his weed smoking hand there. He got arrested for the DUI there. It wasn't. Everybody's like, he blew zero. How is he DUI? Well, he was he was driving around smoking weed, I guess, with a broken hand. And the officers were asking him, "What's wrong with your hand?" Like they didn't even know who he was there. Salon is out for the Hornets. Mark Williams out for the Suns. And Brooks has been out for a while, but that was just a story from the other night. I think from either was it last night he got arrested or 2 nights ago for the traffic violation there, and they took him into the jail. So let's see, though, here with the Hornets favored on the road. Like I said, it just feels to me like the Suns are still, you would like to have Brooks. He is kind of a glue player to a certain extent. Charlotte comes in here at just 32-32, but it does feel like they played, their record is better than that. Phoenix is 36 and 27 coming in. I mean, it's been a great season. They're going to make the playoffs. They're going to be in the top 8 here. They don't have to be in the play-in tournament. Charlotte was on a roll before they finally got beat last time out. They lost to Miami at home. We talked about it, right? Miami's still a pretty good team, has some real familiarity with Charlotte, and they were able to go in and, man, that crowd was insane there. But Miami did get the win in that one. Still, Charlotte's been on fire. They're also 22-11 against the spread on the road, 14-7 against the spread as a favorite. Phoenix, though, they're still one of the best spread teams because they've been a surprise team this season. They are 19-15 against the spread at home, 18-14 against the spread as an underdog here. These are 2 solid under teams this season. They're combined 51-75 to the under. Phoenix is 12-21 to the under at home here. So let's see what you've got in this one between Charlotte and Phoenix. I was trying to figure out because, they don't change the time in Arizona. So I'm like, is this one at 6 or is it actually at 5? Or is it at 6 and the other games are at 5? All right. Help me out here with my time change rules. And we'll go to the chat pros and see what you have to say in this one with Hornets and the Suns. The Hornets have won 6 of their last 7. They've also won 9 of their last 10 games. Overall, covered 9 of their last 10 games. Overall, Phoenix just 2-7 against the spread in their last 9 games. Also, just 1-6 against the spread in their last 7 games at home. Phoenix, however, has defeated Charlotte in 8 of the last 9 meetings. That is a 5-year sample size. They have not yet met this season. The one win by Charlotte, in fact, was last season, 115-104 at home. We know Charlotte's making big strides, but this has been a little bit of a trouble spot. 13 of the last 20 meetings between the 2 teams have gone over. That's a 10-year sample size. Charlotte's gone under in 12 of their last 18 games overall, and Phoenix has gone under in for their last 6 games. So, you know what? These two teams probably feels to me like they might be headed to an under here, but I'm going to take the Suns here today. I still believe a little bit in the Suns. At least, look, the Hornets are playing great. Are they, Eastern Conference playoff caliber? Can they? They might win. They might even pull off an upset series. But Phoenix is going to the playoffs too. I'm going to take Phoenix plus the points here, but I think that under is not a bad call. Let's see what you guys have here in the chat pros today. And here we go. Okay, Andrew, let's see. He's talking about the Knicks here a little bit. And Timmy talking about it looks like, oh, man, either I'm tired or I don't know what these things are saying. I want to say hello to Chris in the chat. Chris, if you rewind it, or I'll cover it in a second, but I did make the pick for the Japan All-Star game, both the Japan-Australia game, both the side and the total. Stay tuned. Right after this pick, I'll do it again real quick. LALB's on the over in this game. He's wondering about the Hornets team total there as well. And, I think it'll be about 112. Okay, Timmy likes the under here. I think so too. I might be on some unders tomorrow, it feels like, on Sunday. Curvin says Charlotte here. LALB likes it over big time, and he likes the Hornets there. All right, Darnell, he likes playing some props in there with some of the threes from these guys, from Kneppel and from Gillespie. We'll see if Cooper Flagg can work his way back into the Rookie of the Year chase against Kneppel, huh? And here we go. Wow, Timmy Chusha says this thing's down to 218 now. And Andre here, Hornets in this one. All right, I'll take the Suns here. Next up, let's go to the Pacers taking on the Trailblazers. This one's about the Trailblazers here. The Pacers are long been done, but Portland certainly still here battling here right now, trying to get into the playoffs. They are 2.5 games back of the Warriors. They are in 10th place here right now, so I think they probably can hang on. They're currently ahead of the Grizzlies by 6 games for that 10 slot, so I think it's going to be working out here for the Trailblazers. It could feel a little bit complacent, a game and a half behind the Clippers here currently right now. This is 8.5 and 236 right now with these two. So, wow. The Pacers come in here on a lengthy losing streak. They're in the tankathon. They are not even coming close in a lot of these games. They're losing and not even coming close to covering. They almost covered against the Lakers. They lost by 11 as a 9.5-point dog, but they lost to the Clippers by 23 as an 11.5-point dog. They lost to Memphis there. They also lost to Charlotte by 24 as a 12.5-point dog, so it's been pretty bad. Indiana is 11-20. ATS on the road. They've also failed to cover here right now in 8 straight games. They've lost and failed in 8 straight. Also, Indiana just 1-5 against the spread. Their last 6 against Portland. Portland hasn't looked great. They're just 2-4 straight up and 1-4 against the spread in their last 5. They're coming in off of a loss at Houston, but they were on a long road trip and they failed 4 straight games. They did win in there against Memphis on the road, although they were a 9.5-point favorite. They won by 8, but they have been on a long road trip, 6 games, I believe, and now they are back here at home for this one. Still a big favorite, but like I said, the Pacers are in the tankathon, so I'm probably going to go to the tankathon here in this one. Let's see how you guys have it at the chat pros, and it's going to be Not much from the group here all of a sudden. It's LALV on the under here at 236. Yeah, Portland's been an over team for sure. 20-11 to the over at home, 19-7 to the over as a favorite. Now Indiana is 13-18 to the under on the road. I'm going to take the Portland Trailblazers here to win by double digits over Indiana tonight in the Tankathon. All right. Team total for LALB on Portland and Curvin, and there is on the over. All right. Hey, you know what? The Chicago Bulls, they're still battling the playoff chase here a little bit. So we got to keep the Bulls in mind right now. 19 and a half. I guess we could have skipped this one. Just at the Bulls here, 19 and a half back. They're 5.5 back of the number 10 position here currently for the play-in. Not yet close enough, but they just have 1, 2, 3, and I went ahead and put this one in the previews today. I'm kind of violating my own rules there a little bit, but they've covered 3 straight. Beat Phoenix recently, beat Milwaukee. They're a dismal 6-17 against the favorite as a ATS as a favorite this year, but Sacramento 22-36 ATS is a dog. 12-19 ATS here as at home. So look, I don't think the Kings are playing very well, but I'm going to actually take them in this game. That's kind of why I added this one. I think they will jump up and bite the Bulls here a little bit for an upset. I'm going to take the Kings tonight to finally win one here. They've lost 3 in a row right now to the Lakers, Phoenix, and New Orleans, but I'm taking them tonight. I'm taking the Kings here. Just threw that one in because I like them. And Darnell says, Wormo, what are you doing? Why are we picking this one, right? All right, I'm with you. Let's move on. Let's move on to some college basketball tonight. I'm previewing 4 tournament championship games here tonight. There's some other great tournament action, and we'll have them preview the championship games here on Night Moves in the nights to come. Here, and there's some great college action here as both the Big Ten and the American Conference wrap up their regular seasons here. It's all over for the regular season after today. We already know we have conference play this week. We have all conference play here for the remainder. And hey, we're already, the teams are dropping like flies, so to speak, here right now in college basketball. So we do have some of the conferences here today I won't be covering, but Coastal quarterfinals are in, Southern Conference semifinals, MAAC semifinals there as well, Sun Belt semifinals, Big Sky second round, West Coast Conference quarters, and the Patriot League semifinals. But let's go to action here let's go to Arch Madness here with Northern Iowa taking on Illinois Chicago. How did we end up here in Arch Madness right now? Let's take a look at this one with Northern Iowa favored here by 2.5. The total's 128. Why not? It is, after all, Arch Madness. But, UIC, the number 5 seed, that's because Belmont already got upset here. And then UIC was able to knock off Drake, who was the team that knocked off Belmont. UIC won it 72-51 there yesterday for the win. UIC comes in 18-14 here this season. They're 10-7 against the spread as an underdog for the Panthers of UNI. They've also come from way back in the first round, actually. They were the number 6 seed. They defeated Evansville 68-59. Then they upset Illinois State 72-54. Then they upset Bradley yesterday 73-69 for their 3rd straight tournament win. Interestingly enough, they were actually favored in that game versus Bradley by 4.5 points, and they did not cover. Isn't that interesting?
Final.
There. So this Northern Iowa team definitely with momentum, with the 3 wins here, a 4-game winning streak overall. They're 18-14 against the spread. These two teams met twice, and both teams won on each other's home floor. It was UIC winning at UNI 69-61 as a 6.5 point dog. However, the Panthers won at the Flames 60-54. Panthers were favored in that one by 4.5. So let's see how you have this one. Interesting here. That's the number 5 seed against the number 6 seed with a tournament championship and a place in the NCAA tournament on the line. Wow. Here for Northern Iowa, they've covered 10 of their last 15 games overall. They've obviously had this 4-game winning streak. They're also 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 games against UIC. For UIC here, they've won 14 of their last 18 games overall and covered 6 of their last 8 games overall coming in. 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams have gone under. 8 of the last 11 for UIC has gone under, and Northern Iowa has gone under in 4 of their last 6. We know this conference tournament is a heavy shade to the under, although we definitely have had a few overs here of late. I don't know if we can cast aside there a little bit what we've seen from this conference, but it does feel like we're going to head. It's obviously going to be another, at least a low-scoring game here at 128. For Illinois Chicago, they did get the cover against Drake, and they got the cover there against Murray in their 2 wins here right now. So, okay, let's go to the chat pros here with this championship game right now. Let's see if anybody's got a pick here. UIC in the points here for Andre. Up One Money joins us today. Hello, Up One Money in the chat. Darnell likes Northern Iowa here, laying it, I think. Maybe that's a money line play, huh? Curvin says Illinois Chicago on the money line. And, oh, Timmy, do I have it wrong here? Fix that. Yeah. That just goes to show you. Thanks. Like I said, I put these totals in way earlier, and here we are right now. It's 120. You're right. It is 123.5. Terribly sorry. That's how brutal this one is. BetOnline did open this game at 128 here, and now look at us. And look, I mean, I gotta think this game is probably going to be played in the low 60s, high 50s here. Maybe is that possible? Now the games earlier this season, 130 points when they played at UNI, but just 114 points when they played at UIC earlier this season for these two teams. So, like I said, it is hardcore unders here right now. All right, gang. Let's see here. Did I get them all in there with the chat pros? And Kerbin is on the over, though, here in this one. He says, that's too low, Ramon. That's going too low right now. They're at 123.5. All right. Well, I'll make my call here in this one. Look, I'll have some further assessment on that total. Then I'm going to pivot here right now. I like the under, but I didn't know it. I didn't even know it had moved under that much. I typed these in. I didn't expect. Although I will say, there's no doubt that in the tournament postseason here, we do see a little bit more strong overnight moves. Anyways, I've got Northern Iowa to win and cover in this one against Illinois Chicago. I've got the Panthers in this one. LAOB there. Yep, he likes the over. Okay. Let's move on to the next championship game here on Sunday. Winner goes to the NCAA tournament. Where are we headed? We're headed to the Summit. Let's go to the Summit League here with North Dakota and North Dakota State. Wow, how about that? All right, this one's at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific here with a tournament bid on the line for two teams from North Dakota. Even I could figure that out for the for North Dakota here. Tournament wins right now over Denver and St. Thomas. It looked good, I thought, in both those games for North Dakota State. Tournament wins over Oral Roberts and Nebraska Omaha. They did not cover in that first game against Oral Roberts. They were laying 12. They won by 11. So not going to hold that against them too much here, but no doubt how we've ended up here in this bracket like this with South Dakota upsetting St. Thomas there yesterday, 76-66 as an 11-point dog. So North Dakota, the number 3 seed, they were getting 11.5 in that game. North Dakota beat Denver to start the tournament. For North Dakota State, they walloped Omaha last time out, 74-50. They also beat Oral Roberts. North Dakota comes in here 12-8 against the spread as an underdog. North Dakota State 14-9 against the spread as a favorite. Now they did play twice this year, and both times North Dakota State won. They won at home 96-93 as an 96-63 as an 11.5 point favorite. They also won on the road 83-66 as a 5.5 point favorite. So it has been a lopsided 2 games this season for North Dakota State, beating up on North Dakota. And let's make sure of the line real quick. In fact, 9, maybe 8.5 here right now. You know, some books didn't even post this line until just right before I was coming in off the air on the air here. So, looking at 8.5 or so here, it feels like I think 8.5 is more accurate here than 9.5. Let me. Some books though have not yet quite posted the total in this game. But I think we're looking somewhere around 149.5, could be 150 here. We talked about the Summit League. It's been kind of a high-scoring league all season long, but North Dakota State is 10-13 to the under as a favorite. North Dakota 11-9 to the over as a dog. The first meeting between the two went under, but the second meeting between the teams went over. So what do you think here? You got a nice in-state rivalry for a tournament bid on the line here. North Dakota and North Dakota State in this one, playing at the Sanford Pentagon, of course, in Sioux Falls. All right, we can go to the chat pros here and see what they have to say. North Dakota's won 9 of their last 13. They've covered 4 of their last 5 overall. North Dakota State has won 16 of their last 18. They're 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 games. In a series like this, you've got to go to the head-to-head. North Dakota's just 1-4 straight up in the last 5 against North Dakota State. And North Dakota State's covered 6 of the last 8 meetings between the two teams. North Dakota State's gone under in 10 of their last 14 coming in, and 4 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams have gone under. Let's hear from you in the chat. Can North Dakota hang here 8.5 points despite getting walloped in the first 2 games of the season, including at home? Let's see what the chat pros think. LALB likes the under here. And Timmy Chushu says, got to go with take those points. All right, and let's see here. Could be a big blowout early, huh? Andre says under and North Dakota plus the points. All right, and let's see here. Darnell says, in these games, you got to take the underdog. I usually would agree with that. I think the games were so lopsided here early in the season. I know that, we might throw it all out now because of the fact that they're in this, tournament game, and you get battle tested a little bit too, if you are North Dakota here, but I'm actually going to take North Dakota State in a blowout in this one. I've got North Dakota State to get this one. Give me a North Dakota State. All right. And, I promised, thank you, Andrew. Got to remind me, I said I was going to preview the game. We got 15 minutes. Let me finish the basketball here real quick, then we get to hockey. Don't let me forget. We got 15 minutes before the game starts, right? It hasn't started yet, or is the time change in Japan too? Can't wait to get it started. I think I'm on the right channel here with the game. Okay, here we go. Let's go to the next championship game. Winthrop taking on High Point here in the Big South final. In this one, look at this total. Let me check the lines here. In this one now, I've totally blown it here because this is an early start. This one's actually at midnight at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific time. So, I messed up the show here already. Total's been dropping here though, big time. Man, look at this. This total has gone all the way from 167 down to 160. There's no way this game's going to be 160, is there? Man, let's get into it here a little bit in this one with High Point has been just dominant here. Has been a great run by Winthrop. I love this Winthrop program, always have. But this total has dropped dramatically here, and I don't know if I'm buying it. All right, let's see here. High Point is on a long winning streak here right now. They just won here in the conference tournament over Gardner-Webb, over UNC Asheville. Strangely enough, despite this winning streak, they continue to fail to cover spreads. They're usually just overrated when it comes to the spread here right now. They were favored by 27 over Gardner-Webb. They won by 22. They were favored by 14 over Cashville, and they won by 4. So how are they going to win that? How are they going to cover this one? They've won 10 straight. They've won 13 straight conference games. Here, Winthrop's won 15 of their last 17 right now, although Winthrop just 1-8 against the spread in their last 9 conference games, in their last 9 games period, but they're 5-1 against the spread as an underdog. It's kind of strange. Winthrop's lost 6 of their last 7 games overall to High Point, but High Point's not covering anything. High Point's gone over in 10 of their last 15 games overall. They're 19-10 to the over this season. High Point's been favored, I believe, in every game they've played this season. Winthrop here, meanwhile, they're having trouble covering here of late, but this has been a good run with those wins over Charleston Southern and Presbyterian. But you know what? They didn't cover those either. So you got a Winthrop team in here that's basically won 3 straight and failed to cover any of them. High Point, they've won a bunch in a row. They've failed to cover in 4 straight. So these guys don't like covering the spread. They just like to win, and they don't want to attract too much attention. But let's see how you have it here. Look, this steam came in big time on the under, man. I don't see it that way at all. Maybe it is going to be turn out to be a grinder, but man, I would think this is going to be a higher scoring game with this particular setup here. The two teams met back in February. It was 89 to 87. That was 176 points. The game was played at High Point. High Point won it, and they did not cover, winning by just 2 as a 9.5-point favorite. They also met back in January at Winthrop. Winthrop won 92 to 67. That was 167 points right there. And Winthrop got the win and the cover at home. All right. Hey, Winthrop has been a pretty interesting team here. I'm going to take Winthrop in this one, but man, I think that total, I'm surprised that so much heat has come in here on the under. Let's take a look at the chat pros and what they have to say in this one. Andre says under in North Dakota plus the points. Oh, I went too far. Okay, there we go. LALB is on the under, well, at 167, but let me tell you, it's 160.5 now. Winthrop money line for Kerbin. Darnell says he'll take Winthrop, but he wants 3 points. Timmy says maybe Winthrop will go up early, and that'll open it up for a little in-game betting. I'll take Winthrop here in this one. One more championship game, then we're going to preview the World Baseball Classic game coming up in a moment. It's going to be Queens College taking on Central Arkansas. Central Arkansas is favored by, I've totally messed up the schedule here, but Central Arkansas is favored by about 3 here right now. Another big, huge move to the under here, gang. It was 161.5 maybe here, but now we're all the way down to 156.5. Another big mover here on a game that, on the surface looks like a high-scoring game to me. Yes, we're trying to get in the NCAA tournament. Maybe they're going to have a little more intensity, defensive intensity to get in the tournament. I don't know if that's going to be the case. Central Arkansas is the number 1 seed. They come in here 21-11. Queens is 19-13 here. The number 3 seed currently. Central Arkansas has been a terrific cover this season, 12-5 against the spread as a favorite. Meanwhile, Queens College just 3-7 against the spread as an underdog. The two teams did meet twice this season. Central Arkansas won and covered them both. They won at home, 84-79 as a 2-point favorite, and they won by 10 at Queens, 100-90 as a 5.5-point dog. So look, that total, the first total was 163, then it was 190. I mean, come on. Maybe the sharps are right here, taking these numbers down that were too high here, but I'm going over in this one with Queens and Central Arkansas. I was ready to go over 159.5 or whatever it was pre-flop on the show here. Queens with wins over West Georgia and Austin P. Got the money against P, did not get the money against West Georgia for Central Arkansas here. The 4 straight wins and covers coming in, including 2 tournament wins and covers over Bellarmine and Florida Gulf Coast. I think Central Arkansas, I mean, look, I'm showing some 2.5 out here right now at DraftKings, and Queens has done a nice job, but Central Arkansas has had a great season as, the better season here. But all right, I think that let's get the chat pros, and I'm going to talk about the baseball game here again real quick for my friend there. Here's Winthrop on the money line for Kerbin. Darnell likes Winthrop here as well. Oh, God, I went too far again. I'm on the Central Arkansas game. Gosh, I think the time change is starting to affect me. Okay, I don't know. Darnell, he likes Central Arkansas on the under. And Timmy Chushu's going to take those points in a close game. Kerbin says this will be an easy over. I agree with that. All right, let me go back here real quick and talk about that baseball game and my picks for the game here real quick. like I said, we got the game coming up here now in just about 7 minutes here from Tokyo. You've got Japan against Australia. And for me, I gotta like Japan here in this one. -6.5 at -1.30. Yeah, they might be -7 as well, but I think the way Otani and Suzuki are locked in right now, they've put multiple home runs for both of them, 21 points in 3 games. You've got more guys in that lineup with Murakami and Teriyaki Soto for Japan. So Australia hasn't faced this lineup here so far. For Japan, now they got Sugano pitching. Now he's kind of homer prone. Now how Australia could take advantage of that, I'm not quite sure if they can, but they've got Bazana, who's looked good. Curtis Mead also. They've been swinging well in the first couple of games. So as long as Australia gets 3 or 4 runs, I think it'll go over here. And I think they could probably do that in this one. So I think my preferred play is Japan -6.5 or 7, and I also will take the over 12.5 here at the World Baseball Classic just to get underway here in just a couple of minutes from Tokyo in 5 minutes right now. So I think Japan's lineup just too powerful. It might be a little bit square here, but I've got Japan and the over in this one. Okay. And let's see here. And Moonman says can't bet college basketball there in Oregon. What's the Calshi status up there in Oregon? And yeah, there are other ways, but yeah, we want to keep it legal here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. All right. I think I'm ready to continue on here right now with our look at the National Hockey League on Sunday, and the night moves will be over. We do have a 7-game card. I think we're previewing them all here right now, so let's get into it with a little hockey. Having a great time with you here on Night Moves on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. First up, we've got the Bruins taking on the Penguins here. Bruins on the back-to-back, but I thought they looked pretty good there yesterday. Here, Boston comes in 35-22-5. Boston got that win there yesterday over Washington, 3-1 to keep that home streak alive. I think it's 12 straight right now at home for Boston. But they got to turn around and go on the road here against – I missed the Wild. I already messed up the Wild and the Avalanche of the first game. Anyway, I'll continue on with this one. We'll go right back to it. This one's at 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific. Pittsburgh's actually lost 3 in a row here to Boston, Buffalo, and Philly. The Boston game was on March 3rd. Boston won it 2-1. Boston's won 4 straight meetings against the Pittsburgh Penguins actually coming in. Boston is 11-14 on the road, 20-20 as an underdog. Pittsburgh 15-9 at home, 14-13 has a favorite here, but Boston, like I said, they've kind of owned this series a little bit. Maybe that'll propel them here again. They're not great on the road. Pittsburgh needs wins here for sure. I mean, especially considering the current standings here right now. Pittsburgh battling it in the top 3-4 teams there in the Metro. Boston, same thing. They're in 5th place right now, trying to hunt down the playoffs here currently. So see how you have it here in this one on Sunday. Boston's won 13 of their last 19. They've won 6 of the last 7 games against Pittsburgh. Boston's gone 0-6 in their last 6 games on the road, but Pittsburgh's lost 4 of their last 5 coming in. Pittsburgh's gone under in 5 straight meetings with Boston. Also, Pittsburgh's gone under in 4 of their last 5 at home. That last game was 2-1. Boston won it, and the previous game back in January at Boston was 1-0. So these guys already, these guys have been a total under. Pittsburgh's gone under in 5 of their last 6. Boston's gone under in 4 of their last 5. I'm going under here, 6 goals. in this one between Pittsburgh and Boston. Give me the under. It's probably 6 flat right now, but I'll take the under. And we'll see if we got any plays from the chat pros here. And it's going to be under for LALB. All right, let's go back. I missed one here. Oh, man. With the Wild taking on the Avalanche. I don't want to miss this. Don't miss this one. Good game, man. Big game here right now. We have to consider these two teams where they stand in the Central Division. Now, Colorado does have a pretty big lead here, 93 points. Minnesota, 84 points right now. For Minnesota here, they've won a couple in a row, including wins over Tampa Bay and BGK. Not bad. Colorado, meanwhile, with 4 straight wins here over Chicago, over the Kings, over Anaheim, over Dallas. They were just on a 3-game road trip and swept it. Now they come home to take on a Minnesota team here that they were able to they lost here at home to Colorado. That was just about 2 weeks ago. Colorado lost 5-2 to Minnesota, but they did play back in December. Minnesota lost 5-1 at home, and Minnesota did win an earlier meeting in November, 3-2. So Minnesota's won 2 of the 3 meetings so far here this season. Colorado is coming in off of a win over Dallas as part of that 4-game winning streak. They didn't look that great in that game, I thought, but they did win. Minnesota comes in here 19-9 on the road, 16-10 as an underdog. Colorado 22-4 at home, and 42-18 as a favorite here this season. Let's see what you got here. It is $1.75. It looks like right now, and the total 6.5. So pretty big price here for this Colorado team, and Minnesota's playing well. Total 6.5. It is, I think, juiced to the under here, but Minnesota's 20-11 to the over on the road. They're also 18-11 to the over as an underdog. However, Colorado is 27-32 here as a favorite. So let's see what you have, or how you have it anyway, in this one between Minnesota and Colorado here in this one. Man, big price. You got to kind of look maybe to the puck line where Colorado is 32-28. 32-28 for Colorado as a puck line favorite. That's pretty good. Minnesota 20-6 as a puck line dog. That's good. That's real good. But again, you're probably going to delay pretty nifty price here in that game. If you want to take Minnesota here on the puck line, they are plus 1.5 at minus $1.65 or so, I believe. But you know what? That's cheaper than the Avalanche there at minus $1.80. So maybe a little bit tough here with these two, but let's see. Go to the chat pros a little bit, and I'll see what you guys have. And let's see what's going on with the goalie situation here today. I put the goalies I thought would be in there, but here we go with some comments from the chat pros. And it's going to be the Avs for Andre, but Minnesota for Timmy Two Shoes. Nelson to score a goal. Kerbin likes Colorado on the puck line. LALB, Avs on the money line. Oh, that's so interesting, Moon Man. Thank you for that information. You can use Kalshi. So strange there, the way they run that. Yeah. Oh, no problem. Thank you, Moon Man. Great to have you here as a member of the chat pros. I hope we can do it again. Okay, let's keep it going here, though, right now. The show's almost over, and I want to watch these Japan, I don't know, I want to call them bombers. That might be a little bit disrespectful. All right, let's see how you guys have it here in this one with Minnesota taking on Colorado. Look, it's 6.5 goals. I'm going to have to go under in this one with Minnesota and Colorado. Give me the under here. It is juiced to the under, to be fair. Okay, next up, let's go to the matchup between the Chicago Blackhawks taking on the Dallas Stars here. And, well, you got Dallas here, minus 270 total, about 6 flat, it feels like, here in this one. Dallas is coming in off of a loss to Colorado, 5-4. But before that, they pasted some, you want to make a comparison here. They were on the road against Vancouver. They won 6-1. They were on the road against Calgary. They won 6-1. Now they're at home against the Blackhawks. Now, the Blackhawks have had some signs of life, but not really lately. It was all way back earlier in the season. It feels like now Chicago's been pretty much a disaster since the Olympic break, and probably a little bit before that. They've had back-to-back losses here to Winnipeg and Vancouver. Meanwhile, for Dallas, before that loss to Colorado, they were knocking them down and taking names here. Dallas comes in having won 10 of their last 11, including 6 of their last 7 at home. Chicago's lost 13 of the last 18 meetings between the two teams and dropped 5 of their last 6 overall. Chicago's gone under in 5 straight on the road. They've also gone under in 5 of their last 6. Meanwhile, Dallas has gone over in 5 of their last 7. 13 of the last 20 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Look, the Sharps are going to be on the Chicago Blackhawks here today. I don't know if it's making much of a discount here at 270 or so. It says 255 on screen, but I think it's gone a little bit north of that here. So, look, like I said, the Sharps are going to be on Chicago here, but I think Dallas rolls. I'm just going to be very square here. Give me Dallas in this one. I think Dallas puts up the goals here. It is 6 right there, but, man, I got to like Dallas here to win it. At least 4-2. Maybe it'll be 5-2. Maybe it'll be 5-3. Usually you think of Dallas, you think of low scores, but not necessarily against bad teams. All right, here we go. Dallas minus 2.5 for Kerbin. Timmy Two Shoes likes the Stars team total over. Okay, so I think I'm right in line with you guys right here. The LALB says Stars money line with the Avs money line for a little parlay, and Moonman likes Dallas in regulation here. Kerbin likes it 6-2. Keep it moving here right now and take a look at Tampa Bay on the road. They are on the back-to-back here, but you know what? So are the Buffalo Sabres. And what can you say about this Sabres team? They won again. No surprise, or is it? They did beat Nashville 3-2. It was close. It was dicey, but they did get it done. Tampa Bay, meanwhile, finally snapped their losing streak to 5-2 win over Toronto on the road. They had been definitely on a losing streak, but were able to clean it up and get a win here for Tampa. Look, they're not going in, they're not, going to falter here necessarily. I mean, they're still a Stanley Cup contender, just a little bit of a rough patch. They've lost 4 of their last 5 games overall. However, they've won 12 of their last 18 on the road. Tampa's also won 12 of the last 18 times here in Buffalo. Tampa's gone over in 6 of their last 9. Buffalo and Tampa have gone over in 4 of their last 5 games. Buffalo here has gone under in 4 of their last 5 at home. Sabres on a 6-game winning streak here currently. Doesn't matter who they play. They seem to get it done. And I don't care who Tampa Bay is right now. I'm taking the Buffalo Sabres here to keep it going right now. Hey, Tampa Bay's looking for a spot to get healthy, but is this really it? You don't want to deny Buffalo here. It just seems like every time they get it done. Let's go to the chat pros here with this one. It's going to be Andre on the Sabres. Moonband says, let's go Buffalo. Team total under for Kerbin. Under at 3.5. Tampa Bay team total under. And Timmy likes Tampa, though.
Final.
Okay. All right, we're just about set to go in the World Baseball Classic. All right. And all of a sudden, here in the West Coast, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. How did that happen? I swear it was just 5 minutes ago. Boy, I'm going to be cranky. I might as well just stay up all night. Happy time change to everyone celebrating here in the West. And a good morning to everyone there watching on the East Coast here now at 6 a.m. with me on Night Move. Night Move. We got to change it to morning moves here, I think. All right, let's keep it going here. 2 or 3 more games. We'll wrap it up here with the Red Wings taking on the Devils here. This feels important. We got the Red Wings on the road here. This one looks like almost a pick 'em right now. I do have the Devils favored there on the screen, but New Jersey comes in having won 4 games in a row over St. Louis, Florida, Toronto, and the Rangers. That's a pretty easy schedule, but they did get back on track here and been looking good. Detroit, meanwhile, with consecutive losses to VGK and Florida. Now, those aren't easy games. Well, Florida, like I said, I can't believe Florida's going to possibly finish in last here. Detroit, 17-10. On the road for New Jersey, 16-13 at home. New Jersey did win here at home back in November, the first meeting between the two teams this season. It was 4-3. So these two teams will beat again. For the Devils here, they come in having won 4 of their last 5 overall. New Jersey's gone under in 7 of their last 10 games coming in. They've also gone under in 11 of their last 16 at home. However, 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams have gone over. Still, the Red Wings 2-6 to the under in their last 8. They've also gone under in 4 of their last 5 games on the road. New Jersey's 12-19 to the under at home and 15-22 to the under as a favorite. Detroit is 18-15 to the over as a dog, but like I said, they've been going under here of late as well. This is nearly a pick 'em game. Just pick the winner, you guys, with Detroit and New Jersey here. New Jersey, look, we're about to kick them to the curb if they don't get it going. If they were playing the Rangers or something, we wouldn't be previewing this one. But with Detroit here currently sitting in 3rd place right now in the Atlantic Division here, New Jersey's picked it up here a little bit, but these two teams, like I said, it was 4-3. New Jersey won at home last time the two teams met. Can they get the win here, though, against the Detroit Red Wings this time? New Jersey's kind of had the better of Detroit here a little bit in the past. All right, I got to make my call here with this one, Detroit and New Jersey here. And I am going to take Detroit, actually. Give me the Red Wings here. I'll take them on the road over New Jersey. I'll just take the better team here. New Jersey's been hot, but I'm going to take the Red Wings in this one. Okay, we go to the chat pros here, and Kerbin's at 6 in the morning. Hey, want to say for real, Kev is here today. Hi, Kev. Good to see you. He's got a 3-teamer there, Dallas Ducks and Sabres. Andre's on the Red Wings. Timmy's on Detroit. LALB's on the over. Timmy says Allen will get lit up. Moonman says he's thinking about the Red Wings here in this one. And Kerbin likes the under. All right, I got 2 more here right now. Let's go next up to the Blues taking on the Ducks. And the Ducks are a modest favorite here at $1.55. They might even be higher than that right now. I think they're up to $1.60 here at some spots. $1.67, $1.75 at DK. I got to update this line. It's at least $1.70, it feels like. Oh, the sharp books are back. The sharp books are down around $1.60 or under right now, but square books have the Ducks here at $1.70. St. Louis has been playing their best hockey here in a while. 3 straight wins. Good on them. On the road here, 3 straight wins at Minnesota, at Seattle, at San Jose. Those teams are okay, and they've won them all here on the road. Good job by the Blues. They're not done yet, just when you think they're done. They probably are done, but with those 3 straight wins, they're still in 7th place in the Central Division, only on 57 points. So I don't think they're going to be able to sustain, but well, that's a good streak. Anaheim, meanwhile, back-to-back home wins here over New York and Montreal. This is a 7th straight home game for the Anaheim Ducks here right now. They're 13-7 as a favorite, 22-9 at home. Blues, though, 10-17 on the road. Not great, but 20-23 as an underdog. That's pretty good. Australia's got a little something brewing here in the first inning. All right, let's see here what you guys have in this one with Anaheim taking on St. Louis here today. Go to the chat pros with, he likes Hoffer better than Dostal. He'll take the Blues, says Timmy Choo Shoes. Andres on the Ducks. Kerbin's on the Ducks as well. And Kyrud, anytime goal in there. Moonman, team total over. Great to have you today again, Moonman. I know I said it before, but good to have some new members here spicing up the chat. And, man, we're up to nearly 80 viewers here. Feels like we're having a pretty good show here tonight. LALB, Ducks money line, Avs money line, Stars money line here in this one. You know, that line's gone up pretty high, but, man, the Blues on the puck line are minus $1.70 themselves. Blues, oh man, this is a good run here. Inning over. No runs for Australia. All right. Hey, these two teams met already this season one time. It was back in December. The Ducks won it 4-1 at St. Louis here. So maybe St. Louis can get their revenge. They're obviously on fire here on the road. I'm going to try the Blues here over the Ducks at plus money. Give me the Blues here. Ducks have been incredible. You know this game's going. It's 6.5 under. Probably should have took the over, I think, you guys. I think the over is the right call. Anaheim, 15-5 to the over as a favorite. 20-12 to the over at home. Yes, St. Louis is 18-25 to the under as an underdog here, but they're playing better, and really it's been the defense. They've only allowed here 5 goals in these 3 wins on the road. So I'm going to go ahead and take St. Louis here. All right, one more, and I think the show is over. How about the Oilers and the Knights here? The Oilers, they're in a bit of a funk here at 30-25-8. Yes, they've been alternating wins and losses, but yesterday's effort against Carolina at home wasn't great. Just 6-3 as they lost that one. This looks like a little bit of a pick 'em, but Vegas looks like they're the slightest of favorites there right now. Vegas has been struggling too. They just lost to Minnesota at home here. They were on a long road trip, and then, sometimes you come home. That first one's a little bit of a clunker. They're still 14-9 at home. Edmonton, they are a dog here. They're 2-7 as an underdog. Edmonton, 8-1 to the over as an underdog this season. Vegas, 18-12 to the over at home, 28-22 to the over as a favorite. The last meeting back in December was 4-3. Edmonton got the win. Edmonton's had the best of this series actually here, but does feel like Edmonton's having some struggles. They've beaten the Vegas Golden Knights in 7 of the last 8 meetings, but they've lost 6 of their last 8 overall. Vegas is 1-4 in their last 5. 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams have gone under here in Vegas, but every Edmonton game here is going over, it seems like, since the All-Star the Olympic break here right now. Edmonton's gone over in 6 straight, over in 5 of their last 6 on the road. Give me the over here in this one with Edmonton and the Golden Knights, but might be on the Knights. But the Knights are struggling here a little bit, no doubt. They did beat Detroit on the road to conclude that road trip, but they had losses at Washington, Pittsburgh, and Buffalo. All right, looks like Moonman's going over here. Jimmy's got some soccer plays there in the chat. LALB says Vegas has won the last 3 meetings at home, though. Is that right? I don't know. Are they back in? Let's see here. Didn't Edmonton, when they wrapped up the playoff series last year, or you mean regular season? Because actually, Edmonton's won the last 2 games in. Oh, maybe you mean regular season. Because remember, they played in the playoffs, and Edmonton won twice in Vegas, and that kind of flipped the series there a little bit. Okay, Knights here for Andre, and also Jimmy's got McDavid in there, LALB liking VGK with that regular season success. I'll take the over. That's going to do it for night moves, everybody. And I'm going to go watch some baseball here in the middle of the night, middle of the morning now. Thank you for joining me, man. We had big audience here on the Tony Spix YouTube channel, the 53,000 subscriber juggernaut. So I had a great time with you guys here on the show. Make sure you head on over to Tony'sPicks.com. That's where we have our best bets, our premium picks over at Tony's Picks. Check it out. Check out the handicapper leaderboards and see who's hot. Then go to their handicapper profile page, and that's how you get signed up. Let me highlight my man Justin here off his 8-0 day yesterday, and let's see what he had, man. Let's see what he had, Justin. He had the Flyers, of course he did. He had the Magic, he had Kansas, he had Iowa State, he had Vanderbilt, he had Marquette, he had Arkansas, he had Virginia Tech. Congratulations to Justin Stacks McKelvey with a perfect, not only an 8-0 day, but he's won here on the website 10 straight games right now, 13 of his last 15. Hey, if anybody can call out a trend, it's me, right? Great job, Stacks McKelvey right now. There's the leaderboard, 8-0. Oh, man, I better get on it. That's going to do it here for Night Moves, everybody. Thank you so much. Make sure you head on over to Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 15% off all premium pick packages, including mine here. I kind of went light there. I've been struggling in college basketball, so I'm going to try to get back on today with some of these games. I got to hit these and probably try to get back in action at Indian Wells as well, somewhere where I can pick up some winners where I've been winning. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 15% off all those premium pick packages. All right, that's going to do it here for Night Moves. Really appreciate everyone joining me here. And also want to thank the chat pros today, including some of our new faces in there. Also, thanks to Timmy, LALB, but thanks to Moonman in there today. It was great to have some new names. Always great to see Curvin around here as well. For Real Kev stopped by. Always great to have Real Kev. Andre was great today as well. So just a real great show with a real great chat team in there today. That's important. Andrew K as well was making an impact. Remember Lennon Marley was here. That was great to have Lennon Marley. Some other new names in there. Tim stopped by, of course, here today as well. So really appreciate everybody there. Mr. Weskers was here early. Can't forget about him there. TMC was here. Man, just a great show. Would hate to go because really enjoying the attention, but I want to go watch this baseball game, and I don't know if I can make it all the way with the time change here. All right, it's going to do it here. And for the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, I'm Ramon Scott. So long from Las Vegas.